All right, let's talk about one of the biggest, and I mean biggest, technological shifts happening right now. We're not just talking about another app or a minor update. This is about the rise of a whole new digital workforce, AI agents. So to really put this into perspective, let me just ask you a quick question. Can you think of any technology that's on track to grow by almost 1,000% in just the next handful of years?
Yep, you guessed it. It's AI agents. And the sheer scale of this opportunity is something we really need to wrap our heads around. According to a report from Grand View Research, this market is projected to skyrocket to over $50 billion by 2030. That is not just growth, my friends. That is an absolute explosion. So how do you even get to a number that massive? Well, it's all about speed. We're looking at a nearly 46% compound annual growth rate. That's just a fancy way of saying this thing is gaining momentum like a runaway train. This isn't some flash in the pan. It's a fundamental shift in how business is going to get done. So, all of this brings us to what just about everyone is calling the new AI agent gold rush. It's a massive period of opportunity, but you've got to know where to look.
So you might be wondering, what's actually fueling this fire? Well, think of it like a perfect storm. On one hand, you have businesses that are absolutely desperate for more automation. At the same time, AI's ability to understand us, natural language, has gotten incredibly good. Throw in the fact that we all now expect super personalized experiences, and it's all powered by the cloud, well, you've got the perfect recipe for an explosion.
Okay, those numbers are huge, I get it. But big flashy market projections can feel kind of abstract, right? The real question is, how do you actually use this power and, separate the real-world results from all the hype?
Well, here's the most effective way to think about it. AI agents, they're not some kind of autopilot for your business. No, think of them as your co-pilot.
And this is the critical part to remember. A co-pilot is there to help, to assist, not to take over. It needs your guidance, it needs your context, and most importantly, it needs your judgment. At the end of the day, you are still the one flying the plane.
And this framing really captures the two sides of your new co-pilot perfectly. On one hand, it has these almost godlike qualities, right? It can sift through mountains of data and give you answers in seconds. But there's also a devilish side. It can be super literal, which is frustrating, and it's prone to what people call hallucinations, where it states something with total confidence, but it's just plain wrong.
So where does this co-pilot really shine? Well, it's a beast at tasks that need massive speed and scale. I mean, imagine analyzing your entire competitive landscape in a few minutes instead of a few weeks, or brainstorming dozens and dozens of amazing content ideas in a single afternoon. It is an unbelievable accelerator for your team.
I love this quote from Carolyn Shelby because it just hits the nail on the head. A GPS is an amazing tool. It gives you directions, but you're the one who tells it where you want to go. It's the exact same thing with AI.
Which brings us to the most practical question of all. How do you actually get started with this stuff? Well, the smart way, the safe way, is to launch your first AI pilot program.
Look, an AI pilot is not about trying to transform your entire company overnight. Not at all. It's a small, controlled, strategic experiment. The whole goal is to test one specific idea, gather some real, concrete data on how it works, and prove its value in a low-risk way before you even think about making a major investment.
And the framework for doing this is actually pretty simple. First, you start with one small, clear, but high-impact problem. Then, you build a small, focused team. After that, you just iterate. You test things, you get feedback, you refine it. And finally, you analyze the results with a ruthless focus on the ROI, the return on investment.
So what kind of problems are we talking about here? The best place to start is with the low-hanging fruit. Look for those repetitive, boring, time-sucking tasks that are slowing your team down. That's where you can get a quick, measurable win and really build some momentum.
Now, once you've proven the value with that first small pilot, then you can start thinking bigger. Because the real future here isn't about just one agent. It's about an entire ecosystem of agents all working together.
And this is where we get into these things called multi-agent systems. Just imagine having a whole team of digital specialists. Maybe one agent is an expert in customer data, another one is a genius at market research, and a third one is an amazing copywriter. They can all work together, delegating tasks to solve really complex problems, stuff that one agent could never do alone.
And the cool thing is, building these systems is getting easier and easier. There are powerful open-source tools from companies like Google. You've got the Agent Development Kit for really complex stuff, or GenKit for more foundational work. These are the frameworks that are letting developers create these incredible digital teams.
And you know what makes all of this possible for basically any business of any size? The cloud. Platforms like Google Cloud provide all the heavy lifting, the infrastructure, the AI models, the tools like Vertex AI that let you build and deploy these agents without needing your own massive, expensive data center.
So, let's wrap this up. The technology is here, the market is absolutely exploding, and the tools to build with are getting more powerful and more accessible every single day. Your AI co-pilot is sitting there in the passenger seat, ready to go. The only question left is, are you ready to take the wheel?